Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series Doggo action figure. This is part of the newest wave of Jazwares Fortnite figures, both Doggo and P1000. I got my figure from Amazon.com, pre-ordered him back in February, about 6 months ago. I've also seen these popping up at the Walmart website. You can't get them shipped, but it will tell you if your local store has them or not. So let's go and check out the packaging here. At the top, you can see Epic Games, Fortnite, ages 8+, Legendary Series, and what that means is these are the 6-inch scale figures, not the smaller 4-inch figures. 40 points of articulation, Doggo, 8 additional pieces. Here he is, posed up, just hanging out in his hoodie. The figure itself contains 3 alternate faces, totaling 4 interchangeable faces for this guy. He's got a pump shotgun, a minigun. He's got his back bling, which is called the chow down. Then he's got his pickaxe here, which is called the chew toy. Now, I've always found Doggo to be pretty interesting. He's one of those really weird, bizarre skins. And we've got a bulldog in human clothing. What more can I say? This is how he looks in the game. I've always been intrigued by this guy. I want him just walking down the street in my action figure city like there's nothing weird going on. So on one side here, just sort of standing there. Same thing on the other side. At the bottom, there's a barcode, in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. On the back side here, he's just standing there. You can see some other figures recently released: Eternal Voyager, Drift, Fishstick, P1000, and X-Lord. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with his pickaxe, called the chew toy. He's got a pump shotgun. His back bling is called the chow down, and it can double up as a dog bowl with Odin written on the side. He's got 3 alternate faces, totaling 4 interchangeable faces. And then he's got the minigun. But before we look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figure. Now this is Doggo. He was available to purchase during Season 9 and has been in and out of the shop since then. And he's one of the skins that kind of appeals to me. I really like the weird ones like Tomato Head or Beef Boss or Peely or Doggo or Big Mouth, and just the list goes on and on. He's in his sort of orange hoodie, kind of makes you think of the burger place. You can see his puppy dog eyes, big old mouth drooping over the bottom part. He's got a dog nose, just looks ridiculous. A bulldog in human clothing, standing like a man. Just looks so nonchalant, casual, like, what are you looking at? Nothing weird going on here. So moving down, orange hoodie. I do wish it was a little bit more traditional coloring. Got a green, brown, orange, red, brown stripes down it. He's got gloves, little dog bones cut out, fingers cut out, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Looks like I've got a butterfly joint that's pretty well hidden under his hoodie. Got the strings coming down of his hoodie. Nice little detail on his pants there. And there his boots. Overall, I'm really digging this figure so far. And then here he is, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. And now, let's check out his accessories, starting off with his faces. Here he is with his first face. This is his most normal looking face, and maybe normal isn't the right word to use for a dog standing up in human clothing, but his eyes just looking plain, mouth, everything as regular as you can be with this guy. And then his second face here. He's got his eyes closed, he looks happy, tongue sticking out a little bit. Maybe somebody's scratching under the chin and he's kicking with his hind leg at the same time. And then his third face looks very surprised, in shock. This is the look you give when somebody shoots an RPG at you and you try to build a wall and realize you have no mats. And then his final face. This one's also pretty regular looking, except his tongue is sticking out quite a bit. Maybe he's panting. Now let's look at his back bling. It's called Chow Down. It's a metal dog bowl with Odin written on the side. Kind of surprised it didn't say Doggo on the side. This thing looks great for dog bowl. Even got a little bit of food there. Only problem is it's got that peg on the back for their peg holes. If you were to cut that off, it'd be a perfect dog bowl in your action figure collection. Here he is wearing his back bling. You sure can't tell from the front, but flip him around, and I just can't stress how appropriate this accessory is for Doggo. Here's his back bling next to all the other back blings that Jazwares has released in their Legendary collection, and each one is interchangeable with the Jazwares figures. And here are all the back blings by both Jazwares and McFarlane toys, and even though they do connect to the figures the same way, through a peg on the back bling into a peg hole on their backs, they are not interchangeable between both lines. The thickness of the peg is just too different. And here are several different Jazwares figures wearing each other's back blings, showing you they are interchangeable between each Jazwares figure. And if you were to try to take a McFarlane figure and put the Jazwares back bling into it, it simply would not work, as the Jazwares peg is just too thick to fit. And in turn, if you were to take a Jazwares figure and a McFarlane back bling, it would fit, but the peg is so thin it would just fall right out. Now let's check out his harvesting tool, or more commonly referred to as a pickaxe. This is called the Chew Toy, and it's a giant bone. So perfect for Doggo. Pretty basic, but effective. Here he is holding his pickaxe, and as Doggo's walking across the sidewalk, he hears a chest behind the doorway there, but can't just open it, so decides to chop his way through. And of course, he chops his way through, exposing the chest to get him some loot. And it looks like he's gotten himself some bandages, grenades, and a pump shotgun. Here's his pickaxe, next to all the other pickaxes Jazwares has released. And once again, they are interchangeable between each Jazwares figure. And here are all the pickaxes released by both Jazwares and McFarlane toys, and I'm happy to say they are interchangeable between both lines. Here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing you that they are interchangeable between each Jazwares figure. Here are some Jazwares figures holding McFarlane pickaxes, and some McFarlane figures holding Jazwares pickaxes, showing you they do work for either line. Now let's look at his guns. He's got a minigun at the top and a pump shotgun below that. The minigun here, it says Husk la Vista, sort of the husk, like the outside part of a vegetable. Kind of an inside joke for Fortnite, mocking Hasta la Vista from Terminator and all the different fruits and vegetables in the game. Here's his minigun in the back, next to the minigun that came with the Legendary Loadout accessory pack. A lot of similarities, but a couple of noticeable differences. Obviously the color, the handle, and it's very odd, the accessory pack, one solid piece, and then Doggo's here actually has a true handle. Husk la Vista on both of them. Flip around to the other side, and only the accessory pack has that painted on there, not his. And then the biggest difference, the one with the accessory pack had an action feature where you can actually rotate the barrel, and this one does not. And here's Doggo's minigun in the back, next to the McFarlane minigun. I would say the McFarlane one is bigger and better detailed. Here's Doggo holding his minigun. This is definitely a two-handed weapon no matter what. You've got to have one hand at the back here and another one holding the handle. Here's Doggo's shotgun on the bottom, next to the pump shotgun that came in the Legendary Loadout accessory pack. Obviously, the top shotgun is quite a bit larger than the bottom one, but the bigger difference, this shotgun with the accessory pack actually has a pump feature, which is pretty cool. Here are all the different shotguns made by both Jazwares and McFarlane. These first two columns here are from Jazwares, and this last one is from McFarlane. Here he is holding his pump shotgun. This is also a gun that should use two hands, one on the trigger and one activating the pump. Here are all the different guns that Jazwares has made for their Legendary series so far. And here are all the Jazwares guns, next to the few guns McFarlane has made that Jazwares has not. Here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's guns, showing you they are interchangeable throughout the Jazwares line. Here are a couple of Jazwares figures holding McFarlane guns, and a couple of McFarlane figures holding some Jazwares guns, showing you they are interchangeable between both lines. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at his accessories, next, let's check out some other vehicles and accessories you can use to enhance your Fortnite figures. Here he is driving a McFarlane quad crasher. And here he is riding on the back. Here he is being pushed around in a McFarlane shopping cart. And here he is pushing around another figure. Now let's check him out with the McFarlane glider and launchpad combo set. Here he is next to it fully assembled. Here he is getting ready to launch up and glide away. And if you're curious how he looks using the McFarlane glider, he can use it just fine. Here he is next to a treasure chest. This treasure chest is actually also released by Jazwares, but it's intended for their smaller 4-inch figures. You may ask yourself, how could it possibly be for the smaller 4-inch line if it's oversized for the 6-inch line? Well, it wasn't intended to be at scale with those figures. It was kind of like an accessory pack. You'd open it up, it would have building material and a couple of weapons. But since treasure chests are such a big part of the game, I was happy to have one that was at least remotely in scale with these guys. Here he is opening up a llama. Obviously this llama isn't from Jazwares or McFarlane, as it's simply a stuffed animal. But since the llama has become a staple in the game Fortnite, you see this pink crazy llama head, you immediately think Fortnite. I was happy to have one of these front figures as well. Here he is healing up with a campfire. This campfire came with a NECA Friday the 13th Jason figure and doubles up great with my Fortnite collection. And here he is with a bunch of other various accessories that came with some previous Jazwares releases. And here he is with a can of spray paint, getting ready to tag the wall behind him. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, as well as some other accessories you can use to enhance this figure, now let's check out the height of this guy. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 6.0 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 15 centimeters. Now let's look at his articulation. Starting with his head here, he can rotate from side to side. The hoodie is very nicely done, not obstructing that at all. Can look in and out about that much. Shoulders on a ball joint, they can go up about this far, a little bit more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. You can hear it clicking into place, kind of like a Rebel Tech figure. He also has a butterfly joint inside of there. That little bit of material between his shoulder and chest area allows his arms to go in and out. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. They can go all the way in. His wrist can rotate and it's hinged. And then he also has finger articulation. He does have a ball joint in his torso area here, and this soft good material does allow it to still move. Can also go forward and back. Then he has a waist swivel below that. Legs are on ball joints, they can go out a full 90 degrees. Forward about that far, back really not at all. It's got a thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then his foot here, got a cut above the boot. And then his ankles can go up and down. They can sort of rotate around and tilt at the same time. And he's got toe articulation. Here's Doggo hanging out with all his dogs. And here he is with his other dogs. Now let's check him out compared with some other action figures. Starting off with some other Fortnite figures. Here he is next to P1000, the only other figure that came out in his assortment. And here he is with the previous assortment of Fortnite figures. Here's the entire Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Collection. We don't really know what's coming next. At one point, I had a pre-order through Amazon for Ghoul Trooper and Battlehound. But Battlehound was canceled, and Ghoul Trooper has no information. So who knows if they're actually going to come out. Looking forward to some new reveals. And here he is with the entire McFarlane Fortnite collection. Here are all the Fortnite figures that I bought multiples of. You may ask yourself, why so many? Well, I got all the different wild cards to use as a Royal Flush Gang in my DC action figure world. I got 4 of each Ghoul Trooper to use as Scarecrow henchmen in my Batman world. I got 2 Crack Shots to use as Toyman henchmen. and 4 Rabbit Raiders and 4 Night Hares to use as Mad Hatter thugs. And here he is in a huge battle royale with all my Fortnite figures. As you can see, here they are shooting, driving, launching explosives, sniping, healing, gliding, getting loot, everyone shooting everyone, trying to see who can get the most kills, and more importantly, who can get the win. And next, let's check him out compared with some other action figure lines from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is with some SH Figure Arts action figures, then with some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and with some Mafex figures, then some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures, and here he is with some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures, then with some Mattel wrestling figures, and here with some NECA figures, then with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures, and with some McFarlane toys, then with some DST or Diamond Select toys. So overall, this is a very solid figure. He's one of the more bizarre characters, a bulldog in a hoodie, walking around like a regular person. I want him to be walking around my city like there's nothing weird going on. I think that's just hilarious. This guy's paint job, sculpt, articulation is all pretty nice. No complaints there. If I were to rate this guy, I think I can give him a 7.5 out of 10. I find myself enjoying him more than I expected, and I was really looking forward to this guy. I just wish that his hoodie was a little bit less of the bright colors. I could repaint him, but let's not kid ourselves. I'm never going to actually get around to doing anything like that. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.